You ever get stuck in an airport?
No, I've never been stuck in an airport, but I've been stuck in an elevator twice.
No, where?
So I do not. Okay, don't.
It's my
judge
worst
me.
nightmare.
So I'm in safe company, but I don't love elevators. It's not my favorite.
Same.
So my first question that I ask when I check into a hotel: does this require a key card? Because I don't know if you've been in an elevator when you're trying to press the buttons, but
Worst.
it needs the key card. So, and when Earl takes too long to get out his key card, I get a little antsy. But it's because I've been trapped twice.
Okay, tell me
It's
the
a whole
two.
real thing.
Tell me the two. I want because I got stuck in Mexico on a mission trip when I was in high school.
You get it.
So
Yes,
tell
it
me
ruins
yours.
you. Two times.
Twice?
First time in Austin, at Shoreline, Austin. Older church, older building, stuck for 30 minutes.
Okay, what
Firefighters.
What time of year?
It was like winter.
Okay, thank God,
But I
because
wasn't.
summer would be
No,
a
I would have
whole-
no, exactly. But I kept pressing the button. The doors would not open. Firefighters had to come with like jaw things to pry me open. The second time, I was in New York at Hillsong Conference, and we were going up to our room. All of a sudden, the elevator goes gunk gunk, and it shakes. I'm reliving this right now. I'm like starting to sweat, but it started to shake. The lights went out in the elevator. I'm not kidding.
I can't.
I dropped to the floor. Earl goes, "What are you doing?" I don't know. Something about dropping to the floor, it comforted me. I don't know why. And I just dropped to the floor, and I just started praying. And Earl kept pressing the button, and then finally the doors opened. That was probably 10 minutes.
Okay, so and was it hot or no?
It was warm, and because my big thing is I love air. So I know all we needed to live.
You know, my big thing as a human is air.
But I love like a cool breeze, and I love being able to feel the air.
Of course.
And so
when it's cut off.
But when you're in an elevator, you can't feel the air.
Okay, so funny you're saying this because I just listened.
I can't believe that.
I listened to a podcast, and the guy, one of the hosts, was talking about how he just got stuck in an elevator in New York, in Brooklyn, and it was in a house. And so they closed the gate doors, and then the doors closed, and they were stuck. And this guy was thinking, I die here.
Yes, like it's over.
I die in the elevator. So they call the fire department, and they're on the way, and the whole thing. And right before the fire department gets there, he sees a button, and he hits this one button, and it opens.
Stop it!
And he's like,
the
so
whole time
embarrassed. I could have been out.
I trapped myself.
Mine was in Mexico, and it was in the summer on a mission trip
in Mexico
heat, packed.
No.
I'm scarred for life.
No.
Both
times I was only with Earl, and the other time I was alone. You were packed though. You were with
packed. And I tell you, when I get in the elevators with my family knows.
Yep.
Like if it's sus, stairs. I'm not doing it.
That is me. I will take the steps. I've gone up 6-7 flights. I don't care.
I have a thing with elevators that you're the only other person I know.
No one can relate. Everyone's just so chill and cool. But me, I'm like, yes, war wounds. No.
So it makes us leaders.
Exactly.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Mika, let's go.
Hi.
Thank you for being on.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we are fresh off a session where your husband
That message.
shut it down.
It was crazy. But the room was ready. The room was ready.
Yeah.
All day from your message, all of them.
I do think though, because you preach, you understand this, like an audience helps you a lot, but like Earl he's got it. He's got that I'm going to swing, I'm going to preach, I'm going to keep, he just keeps building and building and building and building and building. And you could feel it. There was one moment he said something and the room just went.
It was wild.
Right?
It was wild. That was like a moment. That was a moment.
It was a moment.
It was a moment. Yes.
It's an honor to have you on. We love you guys. Straight up out of Dallas.
You guys are dear, dear friends, like family. Earl started crying talking about you guys today. Just because deep love, you know?
That was so sweet.
Deep love, yeah.
But you guys are such great leaders. You're such great pastors. And one of the things I love about you is you're such a creative. I want to tell me about your heart. Where does it come from? Your heart for design, your heart for creating environments. You are a leader that's in the details, from hospitality to design to lighting. Yeah. Where does that, because I think to be a great leader, I think you have to be obsessive.
Yes. Yeah.
You can't be laissez-faire.
Right,
you can't just
right.
like coast in and be like,
right.
You're so deliberate. Where did you develop that deliberate, especially talk to me about being an artist that is deliberate, to develop the spaces and the lighting and the design that you're going for?
Yes. Well, I love hospitality.
Yes.
And I love moments and I love memories and I love creating moments and memories for people. So I do it with my family. So we go all out for like our family's birthdays. We do that like for any holiday or birthday, like catch me doing the most. So I just love seeing the expression on someone's face. I love people feeling like thought of, cared for.
Wow.
And so I feel like in the church that we can do the same thing because people spend Monday through Saturday feeling forgotten, feeling discouraged, feeling like, does anyone know my name? Did anyone notice me? So I feel like when we get to set the table at church, it's where people can feel known and remembered. When we do, this sounds so like whatever, but a photo wall and the serve team that puts it together and makes it stunning. People take photos and memories that then live on and then they go back to that memory. We had someone come up to us recently that said, my loved one passed away, but I still have that photo I took with them at the photo wall. And so I just think it's more than just like, oh, that's a vibe. I love that vibe, which I do love that vibe. But at the same time, it's to make moments and memories for people and for people to feel thought of and seen, loved, and cared for. It's like the holidays, you know, for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, you like set the table, no matter your style or aesthetic, there's some type of thought that goes into how you serve your family and your friends. And I feel like that same muscle is so important to use it in the church. When our church had 15 people, I still like found napkins at the grocery store that matched the coffee cups and just wanted it to feel like we set up for you. We expected that you were going to come and we were intentional.
We thought about you.
We thought about you. That's what it all boils down to. Yeah.
Have you read this new book that's going around is it called Extreme Hospitality?
I've heard about it, but I have not read it.
Yeah, it makes me think about that kind of their whole concept from what I gather. I haven't read it yet. I started to listen to it, which I'm already inspired listening to it. But kind of, I believe their whole concept is that people should be surprised by how over and above you went.
Exactly.
They're kind of taken back by effort.
Yes.
And I think that's what separates you. That's what separates great leaders is effort, which another word for that could be work ethic.
Yes. Yeah.
How hard do you have to work at this to be good at hospitality or creativity?
Well, I think when you love it and your goal is in the right place. Like we don't do it. I don't do it to be cool. I mean, I don't. I'm not like trying to be cool, trying to be noticed.
Right.
I just want people to feel noticed and people to feel seen. So it gives me like a motivation and a passion where I'm so excited. And creativity is everywhere. I can be watching a movie with our kids and I see the color palette in the movie and I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be such a great graphic. So I feel like inspiration is everywhere, but I don't do it because I have to. I don't do it like, oh, this is a burden, you know, to be creative for our church. I do it out of a genuine love for people and a genuine love. I feel like God, you know, he writes us love letters all throughout scripture that says love letters of him teaching us, guiding us, correcting us, pouring into us. And I feel like we can display his goodness through our creativity and echo. So if there's a message that Earl's doing, I feel like that message can live on through creativity.
100%.
Yeah. The photos that we take, they live on.
Doubles down.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that that's so cool. And I think that's it's like almost like a partnership.
Yes.
You know, and I think growing up in church, you know, no knock on my parents, you know, just the church that and this is a different iteration of church.
Right.
Art wasn't really in their church. It wasn't until I was really around Hillsong maybe that you could kind of see these videos.
Films. They made movies.
The
Vision Sunday movies that they made, they live rent free in my head.
So you have these films, and then you have music and lighting. And I think that was, you know, first time I was like, well, you know, I hate to dumb it down this way and say, oh, church is cool, but art is what makes it's so hollow or empty or boring without art.
Right.
And I love, you know, because I've been to your church and your church is stunning. The room that you've designed, the lights and the screen and all of it is so beautiful. Talk to me about having the ability to not only be a great designer, but when I think about you and Earl, you guys affirm others so well. You have this natural well of life. You know how the Bible says the power of life and death? Like when I think about you guys, you speak so much life. You're so life-giving. The best voice memos in the history of the world are your voice memos. When you leave a voice memo for Julia, I'm like, don't play it until I can be in the room. Just so you know, I eavesdrop on that thing because I'm like, it feeds me what you are saying to her. I think that in order to encourage others
Yes,
and affirm others, it's so much of a soul issue, so much of a heart issue. How have you been able to steward and garden that
Right.
to be at a place where you have so much strength coming out of you?
Yes. I think because I'm not too into myself. I think if I was too into myself, I wouldn't have time to think about other people, or the people in my life, or the people that I get to serve, or the people that I get to like build church with, raise families together. I think if my whole life was just about me, that there wouldn't be room in my heart to think about other people. So I think it comes from like dying to self, and not in a martyr way, but I get fuel. Like you just get filled up when you're filling up someone else. It's so rewarding.
100%.
It's so rewarding to pour into other people.
That's it.
And the people, even the people that are on our serve teams at our church, I know that you hear this too, but people get promotions on their jobs because of what they learn in church leadership. Then they apply them in the cultures of their office and their corporate environments, and people take notice. We've had people from our teams that like are like running companies, but using a lot of the things that they learned in church leadership. They're then shining and standing out because it's not normal. And so employers and bosses and company owners and entrepreneurs, they notice that and they're like, I want that on my team. Like, I'm going to trust you with this investment. So, yeah.
And one of the things that strikes me about you guys is that I never feel like you're fishing for compliments.
Oh, yeah.
Never feel like you're saying something. So, you know, Frederick told this story the other day where he was like saying to a worship team member, or like a worship leader, like, great job. But he was really saying it so they could say to him, great message.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that can happen to all of us.
Sure.
But I never sensed that from you guys, that you're, you know, I think some people serve with a string attached. They compliment with a string attached.
Yeah.
How were you able to develop that ability to go, I'm going to be a host, I'm going to be an affirmer without needing it back?
Exactly.
How did you get clean from that?
Yep. I think it's just spending time with Jesus. You know, one of Earl's favorite scriptures is, I must decrease so that he can increase.
Hello.
And so I think when you live a life of, God, I'm dying to myself, because literally we're called to wash other people's feet. And we're called to do that not to get something in return. We're called to do it because Jesus did it and he modeled it. So I think it goes back to dying to self. I think it goes back to not like spending too much time thinking about yourself. Like, I think that comes from a place of like, well, what do they think about me? And I'm going to do this. So then I'm going to position myself and I'm going to get noticed. And like,
crazy.
I'm not trying to get noticed. We're just trying to be faithful.
Wow.
And so I just think I'm wired to be sincere. And I just think that's how God made me.
Yeah.
And so in middle school, junior high, I was like voted friendliest at my school.
Stop.
And so
this goes back to middle school.
middle school. It goes back to middle school. Yeah. I was like, I taught my friends to like be huggers. Like, cause I'm just like, hi. And they came from families that like weren't affectionate or didn't hug.
But your mom was.
Yeah. Yes. Very much so. She was a single mom, and she just like
loved
nurtured me. And
Wow.
she just like taught me that there's like no ceiling on my life. I never lived with like, oh, I don't have a dad at home. My life's going to be terrible. She was like, let's go. Let's go get it. She was super successful and a boss and a hard worker. And she always gave people the shirt off her back. And so I think my origin story is watching my mom like serve other people. She would like go school supply shopping. When we'd buy my school supplies, we'd buy supplies for another family. For Christmas, she would like have me pick out toys for another family. So I think it goes back to just even how I was raised and just serving people with like no, like the people that we gave those things to, they didn't know us. It was like all anonymous.
Wow.
So I think that also helps with me not having a motive. Like I don't have a motive.
Yeah.
It's just love.
But I think that's hard for people. I think, you know, thank God you had a mom that loved you and nurtured you that way and modeled that for you. But I think, you know, what we're talking about as far as like being generous and serving others, those are not easy concepts for a lot of leaders. A lot of leaders struggle. And I think it goes back to, it's like I heard Pastor Chris Hodges say, if I could give every leader a gift, it would be security.
Yep.
Because you can't really be a servant leader until you're secure.
Exactly.
You can't really help others until you're confident in your own skin and comfortable in your own skin. And so much of that goes back to that. And that's you can feel that from you guys, that you're not reaching for things. You're not trying to position or jog, because we've all been around people that you kind of feel like, did they do this so that I could?
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you inviting me so that
exactly? Because I know this person. Well,
if I scratch your back, LA is kind of like that. I don't know if Dallas is like that.
Yeah.
If I do this for you, if I give you tickets, well, you're gonna give me seats, and
and
I don't sense that from you. I want to ask you about the best word I could use to describe you guys is classy.
Aw.
You carry yourself with so much excellence and class. How do you develop that excellent spirit? Like, what did you do? I understand the artist, the
Right.
host, the design, all that. What about excellence? Where does
Yes.
that come from?
I feel like excellence can happen no matter if you have no budget. You can still be excellent. Earl grew up, like his mom was a single mom. He grew up in the inner city.
Right.
But she made sure every day for school, his clothes were like ironed and neat and clean. And he stood tall. She taught him, like, don't let anyone build your world because they'll always build it too small. So I think sometimes we mess up excellence with budget and resources. And I feel like you can be excellent no matter your budget.
I agree.
And so I'm really passionate about that. I feel like we both grew up in homes where our parents, like my mom was very excellent. She always wanted me to stand tall, for me to not for people to not look down on me, for me to like walk into a room and own the room. And so I feel like that translated into my everyday life. And then it translates into church. And I think excellence is a good thing because
100%.
It's like a good thing. When you go to the doctor, you want them to be excellent. When you get your car fixed, you want them to be excellent. When you pull up to a restaurant, you don't want like dirty floors and like the person serving you to like not have like clean. I don't know if you've ever had someone serve you when their nails were dirty, but then they like touch your food.
I have not noticed, thankfully, but man,
like,
nightmare.
Just like excellence just matters because if that person who's serving you, and God bless them, and we're thankful that they serve us.
Yeah, we're thankful.
But we're so thankful. But if they don't wash their hands and then they're feeding us, you like get sick. So excellent is it's important in hospitals. So I think people like poo-poo and throw shade on and mess up excellence and mess up creativity. It's like, it matters. It
so matters. I've always held on to the verse, and then Daniel distinguished himself because the excellent spirit was in him.
Exactly, yeah.
And excellence, my kind of thought for leaders has always been excellence speaks. So when I go to Disneyland, it shouts at me.
Exactly.
The cleanliness shouts at me. The order shouts at me.
Yes.
The signage screams at me.
The way they handle lines,
Yeah, all of it is telling me I prepared for you. I thought about you. I love you.
I'm intentional.
I'm clean so you could have, so you could think straight.
Exactly.
And I think, one of the hallmarks of great leaders to me is excellence.
Agreed.
A lot of it has to go back to preparation.
Yes.
What do you do to be prepared in public to be your best? What do you do? We were talking about graphics that you look throughout the week.
I do. Yes.
So that when on the weekend you're prepared.
Yes.
What are some thoughts you have about preparation?
Yes.
Because I think preparation brings forth freedom. Preparation brings forth your best. How do you get prepared as a person so you could be excellent?
Yes, I think like time on my knees and time with Jesus and inviting God's presence into everything we do.
Wow.
It makes all the difference in the world. So that way you take God's presence and you invite it into that graphic design. You invite it into that photo you take. You invite it into that photo wall, into that message, into that sermon clip. And you ask the Holy Spirit to lead, to guide, to breathe on it. And it becomes, I feel like creativity without the Holy Spirit, it's like dry bones in Ezekiel 37. Ooh. But then when that spirit and that breath and that life gets on those, they become a great army. And so that song becomes a great army. That lighting moment becomes a great army. That clip, that moment in the lobby of just the hospitality and the napkins that have your church name on it becomes a moment when you, because I feel like even if I was on the hospitality team and I was setting out the napkins in the coffee bar for the people in our church, I would be praying over that moment. I'd be praying like, God, every person who I hand a cup of coffee to, may they feel your love, may they feel seen. And I'm like old school where I would like pray over a napkin. Like I would be like, God, when they grab this, may they just feel like seen and thought of. But I just feel like I always invite the Holy Spirit into everything I do, for decisions, for wisdom, for parenting. So good. And even in our meetings when we're getting ready for a service, and I want I'm going to notice if a graphic is like off, or that like I don't want to get judged, but if it's not the right shade or the right color. Yeah. But before we start that meeting, we invite God's presence in. Wow. And so I feel like the Holy Spirit breathes on it, and then it makes it like stunning.
10 times better.
Exactly. So I do that on my own, but then I also do that with our team.
Okay. And I remind them that. So speaking of excellence, you told me that you have a story about checking in your hotel.
So I was so excited to come, of course. Y'all are family, and I love everyone from your church. Like, everyone from your church feels like family.
Yes.
Everyone's so authentic, fun, full of life, so fresh, so refreshing. So we're in the car, and I decided there's two ways I travel. I either hydrate hardcore.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, skin needs to be skinning.
Hardcore.
I'm like, the skin needs to be skinning. So I'm going to hydrate. Or I hardly drink anything because I don't want to have to go to the restroom on the flight.
Yeah.
So like, it's just anybody's guess.
I get it.
So I start chugging water right before we land. So I'm just downing water. Oh, I'm hydrating. I'm like, you will not find me with dry skin this weekend. I will be dewy. So I'm hydrating. Yes. And then I get in the car. I'm like downing water.
Hydrate.
But I forget that it takes 45 minutes to get
Oh, we a long ways away.
I forgot about that LA
It's LA.
traffic.
Well,
that
sorry,
LA
we're
traffic.
not a long ways away. We a long way in LA traffic.
Yes, I forgot about that
But
LA
Dallas
traffic.
does have traffic.
No, it does. It does traffic. But for some reason in my brain, I wasn't thinking 45 minutes in the car. So I'm just downing all this water till my body's like, you're done now. We need to do something about it.
We all know the feeling.
Yes, you know the feeling. So I'm like squirmy in the back seat. And so what's our host name? He's amazing.
Quentin.
He's
talking
so
about
fun.
Quentin?
Quentin is fun. He's so fun.
He's a great guy.
He has the best stories too, by the way.
He's kind of a character, but yes.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I said, Quentin, as soon as we get to the hotel, I said, thank you for hosting us, but I don't mean to be rude, but I have to race
I gotta
to
go.
the bathroom.
Yeah.
So we get to the front desk. He helps us get checked in. The guy hands us our key, but doesn't write our room number. The hotel guy doesn't write our room number on the key. So Earl says, hey, can you tell us our room number? So he writes our room number on the key. I said, is there a restroom down here that I can just run to really quick? And he's like, no, actually, it's on the second floor, and you need a key card for it. So we get all of our hotel key. We say goodbye to Quentin. I Earl hands me the key. I scan the door, walk right in. There's team in there. I think they're all from Zoe. So I'm hugging everybody.
What's
I'm
up,
like,
y'all?
yes. I'm like, let's
Great to
go.
see you.
Let's go, Pastor's Gathering. I think
Not
they're
real. This is not real.
I literally thought it was your whole team in there. I thought I like got
Love you
too early,
guys.
and I thought they were like leaving some things because that's just how you
yeah,
are.
yeah,
And so I just thought, oh, they're still here because they looked like you came too soon, Oneka. And so I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just have to run to the restroom really quickly. So I run to the restroom. Come to find out, they're all strangers. They don't go to Zoe. They're having some photo fashion shoot. I bust in. I'm like, let's go, Pastor's Gathering. Nobody stops me. I'm hugging them.
Hugging them.
I'm thinking.
Wait, so did they give you
They
the
let
wrong?
me. The hotel gave me the wrong key. I just walked right in. They thought it was a part of the like production, and so they thought I was there for the shoot.
She looks cool. She's with them.
They like literally. I just walked in.
Because you don't look like a pastor. I say that as a compliment.
So
I don't even know what that means.
I literally was like talking to them like family. I'm like, I'll be right out. I've been holding. I drank so much water.
And they're like, okay,
Like, okay, who's
lady.
this girl? Like, a stranger going to the bathroom during a photo shoot. So that was my crazy story. I'm like, welcome to LA. We're here.
Goes back to preparation.
Yes, yeah.
Why don't we have the right keys to this hotel room?
Right.
Oh
yes.
my
Can you believe it?
gosh.
I was hugging them.
Traveling is always going to give us stories.
Oh,
We're always going to have great
always.
stories. That one's pretty
Always.
up there.
No, it's real.
That's like
epic.
if you're ever around a group and they're like, tell me your travel story.
Exactly.
It's like, well, I got one.
It's fresh.
It's pretty. It's fresh.
It's
and
fresh one.
It's pretty up there. By the way, what's better than a good church story?
Oh, the best.
Like,
I love
and
the
I feel like
church.
you guys have great church stories because you've been in church for so long.
We've
and the
had
longer
people
we're
sunbathing
around,
in front in bikinis. Not kidding.
and shoreline,
Shoreline City. Yes, sunbathing. Yes.
Sunbathing.
Yeah, sunbathing.
Not real.
And the person was like, Jesus loved the sunshine.
Oh, no, you can't
I'm
say
not
that.
kidding. Yes,
That's
I'm
too
not
much.
kidding. I know.
It's because Jesus
and
loved
then
the sun.
We had one of our like logistics people that like I didn't know this was happening when it happened, but
Yeah.
one of our logistics people who are like, everyone needs logistics people in their
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
They dot
everybody.
the I's, they cross the T's,
Yeah.
they make sure everything
Yeah.
is like good. So the logistic person goes, we don't do naked here. Because I was like, because she said the person was like, David danced before the Lord, and David took off all of his clothes.
We don't do
we don't do
naked.
naked. So
Just
yeah, we got.
just so you know, we
we
do
don't-
excellence.
yeah.
We do design.
Yes.
We do hospitality.
Exactly. We don't do
around
naked.
here.
But yes, so
Oh
we got
my
stories.
Gosh,
Oh,
we got stories.
Yeah.
I was thinking about. I wanted to slide in this story. The church I worked at in East LA.
Yeah.
When I first started working, the pastor was like, "Hey, I got to do a disciplinary action. I want you to see how I handle it."
Okay.
So we sit down with this guy in the church, and come to find out, he was, leading the choir at the church I was working at, and he was taking some of the choir members to a nude beach.
No, he was not.
So
Stop
these
it
choir
right now.
members told on him. So the pastor sits him down. We found out what you're doing.
Right.
You know, how could you, you know, kind of gets after the guy. And the guy stands up. He goes, Pastor, what I do away from church is my business.
Oh, okay then. All righty.
And he stormed out. And Pastor was like, well, he's done.
Okay, bye-bye.
But
what I do.
If we're going to be around church, we're going to have some
stories. Oh, so many.
So last thing I want to talk about is showing up for others. Mm-hmm. You guys have this commitment, this value to show up for friends, for other people, to be there. Yeah. You guys are fiercely loyal. Mm. Where does that come from? How do I develop that? Like, what are your thoughts on relationships? Because I feel like a lot of leaders are lonely because they choose to be.
Yeah. Yes.
They don't have to be.
No.
They think it's a bad thinking pattern.
Yeah.
Free us from that.
Yes. I think you got to trust again. I think we've all been hurt. We've all had people disappoint us, betray us. I think you live life long enough. Someone's going to hurt you, betray you, not meet your expectations. But I think you can either isolate yourself and say, all people are that way. I'm never giving my heart away. Nobody understands my call. And I feel like the minute you get into that box of like, nobody understands my call, my pressure, my weight, I can't be myself in front of anyone. I think that's when you do crazy, stupid things that blow up your life. I think it's so 100%. Important to trust again, to try again, to let people into your heart again, because we need other people. We need each other. We need them to water what's on the inside of us. And I feel like you flourish and your garden has all these stunning flowers when you allow the right people to water your garden. Otherwise, it's like, you've ever seen grass that's like hasn't been watered? It's like looks all crazy and crunchy and like it just looks nasty. Yeah. It's supposed to be green.
It doesn't have to be that way.
Exactly. And so I just want to encourage the people that are hanging out with us today to like trust again, to give someone another chance. It doesn't have to be 20 million people. You could just start with one friendship, one relationship, because you could be one relationship away from like your heart being healed again. For you meeting some of the best people that are called to speak life over you. But I just choose. Like I choose. People have said to me, you've been hurt before. Why do you love so hard? Because you know what I'm saying? Like people say, why do you love so hard? They think because I love hard or because Earl loves hard that we've never been hurt or had disappointments. But I just have chosen to love and trust again. And
knowing full well that it could happen again.
Exactly.
And that's fine. That's okay. But
why do we believe that though? I think we believe that like we're not supposed to get hurt ever. And so then when it happens, people like leave church because someone hurts their feelings. But that's not a good enough reason. Like, I didn't get picked for that team or I couldn't find a parking space. I had to drive around. I'm like, what? Like that? Like Paul? Like Paul's like, he's like gangster. He was like, that would not have taken exactly
beaten
like, that. And so I just like, I want that to wake up in us again. Just that, like, you cannot talk me out of this. Like, you cannot talk me out of, this is the house that I'm supposed to be in. God, you brought me here. God, you through all the seasons, like all the seasons. And I think we think life just only has summer. But life in church, you have summer, winter, all the seasons, but we have to weather all the seasons. But then once you weather them, beautiful things come on the other side.
I've been so inspired by, Lee Domain and those guys, the Louisiana Mafia. And
they're all incredible.
He has great language, him and Pastor Dino. They would say in their friendship, divorce is not an option.
Wow.
And if you think about that, like we think about divorce in marriage only.
Right, we do.
But if you think about, like, how can a friendship survive decades? How could it survive disagreements, disappointments, rejections?
Exactly.
All the things that a relationship has. How can you stay friends with somebody or stay in community? You have to make a commitment. Like, divorce is not an option. Like, I'm just with you.
I'm with you.
We could disagree. We could, have bumpy seasons. Fill in the blank. But I think that language is really good for me to go, like, I need some people in my life that I'm with you, and you guys have been so faithful and so loyal to so many people. And I think you're loved because you love. And I always think it starts with us. Like the Bible says that a man that wants friends must first himself be friendly.
Exactly.
It always starts with us.
Exactly.
Are we inviting? Are we including? Are we getting on the plane?
Exactly.
Are we sowing? Are we giving gifts?
Are we showing up? Exactly.
It starts with me. How could I ever expect somebody to do what I'm unwilling to do for them?
Right.
But I think I'm asking you guys because I watch you guys take that first step. I watch you guys initiate. I watch you guys show up. I like that language. Show up for people.
Me too.
It's a big deal
It's
to
a
show
very
up
big
for
deal.
others. And you know, it was like, it's so funny. We were talking about your guys' dedication the other day, and I just asked Julia, like, Julia, tell me why I wasn't at their dedication. And she's like, well, remember we were in transition with a nanny, and
Right.
we didn't have one at the time, and I went for us, and
Yeah.
and I was like, that was a big mistake. Like we could have flown a family member down. I can't. I was just like, Julia, I can't believe we rationalized that. Like, I want to show up for them. You know, that's the desire.
Right.
And I think it starts with at a heart level.
Yeah.
Say, I want to be a friend.
Yes.
I want to be in community.
Yes.
And I really, so I'm applauding you for your hospitality, your excellence,
Goodness.
your guys' commitment to friendship. You guys check all the right boxes. You guys are such leaders, such pastors. And if that's what you've already built, dear God, what are you about to step into in the next 20, 30 years of your life? What the fruit is going to be crazy. So thank you for your leadership.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for your yes. Thank you for being who you are, the voice that you are to people around the world. You guys are, in my opinion, the top of the top. So thank you for being on.
We love y'all. We're so thankful for you and Julia. First class, best of the best, anointed, pure, fun, and we're just so grateful. We love doing life and raising kids and building church together.
Come on.
Greatest gift.
Well, we're going to just keep making memories, our crew.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Love you. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining today.